Starting us off tonight for our reviews, we watched Red Notice.
Yes, Red Notice, the Netflix original. I happened to be with somebody, and he suggested watching it because we were just looking for something to do before bedtime. And I said, you've been suggesting this movie to me for years, so why not?
Yes, and then DB said he told me he was watching it, and I said, well, I guess I better watch it too, because I didn't really have a whole lot of time to watch anything else. So gave this a watch, and it's pretty paint by numbers, boilerplate Netflix original movie.
Yeah, this one. Okay, so I feel like South Park predicted the future again many years ago.
Yeah.
Do you remember the episode where Cartman pretended to be a robot? Like he was just in a cardboard box and pranking Butters, and he ended up being kidnapped by some movie executives who kept forcing him to come up with pitches for movies.
Yeah.
Well, first off, if Netflix actually has Awesemo, that would explain why they have so many Adam Sandler movies, because 90% of his pitches involved Adam Sandler in that episode.
Yeah.
but I can just picture that. Okay, so you got The Rock and the guy from Deadpool and Wonder Woman, and it's like National Treasure combined with what's a movie where a guy has to prove his innocence illegally? The Fugitive. It's like Indiana Jones meets The Fugitive, and there's Nazi treasures, and then it turns out they were all bad after all.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, it's very much like one of those like treasure hunt heist movie kind of thing. And every time I hate to, Rick and Morty ruined heist movies for me, because they did a whole episode where they're parodying heist movies.
Oh, yeah. And you son of a bitch, you got me, I'm in.
Yeah, you son of a bitch, I'm in.
That's the only part of that episode I've seen, so that tells me that maybe I shouldn't watch it, because that might ruin heist movies for me.
Yeah, well, yeah. Although that episode did give us the great line, "Your boobs mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer."
Maybe I have seen that one then, because I do remember that line. Maybe they used it a couple of times.
Yeah, I think they did. Yeah. But this movie is like just it's like I said, very standard. I mean, you got Dwayne Johnson playing his usual Dwayne Johnson character.
Actually, they're all kind of playing their own usual character. It's just that Gal Gadot doesn't really emote, so she just doesn't really have a character per se.
That's true. Kal-El, no.
Sidebar. Okay, that line has always bothered me. Yeah. Because that was a thing in the comics where she always called him Kal-El.
Yeah.
But the DCEU version of Wonder Woman at that stage of things should have, one, had no idea what his Kryptonian name was.
Mm.
And two, they wouldn't have had the close relationship where she would decide to use that as her name for him, since they met once and he died.
Yeah, at the very least, you'd call him Clark. I mean, yeah.
Right, because didn't they show her interacting with Ma Kent?
Yeah, well, yeah, she was at his funeral.
Yeah, so that's okay. Sorry about that. I got distracted. Look, any excuse to beat up on the Snyderverse. But...
Yeah. but yeah. So and Ryan Reynolds is, of course, Ryan Reynolds. Yeah,
right. He is maskless Deadpool.
Yes. Yeah. So and I think this poster is photoshopped. Looks photoshopped.
Yeah, now that you mention it, the Rock's shirt does look a little bit too smooth.
Yeah, and Ryan Reynolds' head looks off.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so this movie centers on our trio here. First, we meet Dwayne Johnson's character, Hartley, who is an FBI agent for the. He works for the BAU, which is the Behavioral Analysis Unit. And if you watch Criminal Minds, that's the same unit, and they focus mainly on serial killers. I didn't really realize that they would also do like international art thieves. Um,
It's also a weird choice because they have him psychoanalyze Reynolds a couple of times, who is our who is our master thief here.
yeah,
But like, I don't feel like he never really uses it to solve a problem, as I recall. It's more just like it's a way that he like manages to goad him into character exposition.
yeah, yeah. Well, and there was the one scene in the mansion with him and with Dwayne Johnson and then Gal Gadot, but we'll get to that in a second. Um, but Ryan Reynolds is Nolan Booth. He's this world-renowned international art thief, and he's trying to steal one of Cleopatra's eggs. And for those of you who don't know, Cleopatra had these like three golden eggs.
So I looked it up, and apparently they are made up.
Oh, okay, they are made up. Okay. Well, they made them up for the movie. Yeah. So in this movie universe, Cleopatra had these three golden eggs, and one of them is in this museum in Rome, and then another one is owned by a private dealer, and then the third one is supposedly lost and nobody knows where it is.
Yep, except our heroes figure it out. But
yeah, but yeah, so Dwayne Johnson shows up because he knows that Ryan Reynolds is going to steal the egg, and sure enough, he does. And eventually, Ryan Reynolds gets away in this like really put upon chase sequence, and they're. I will say one kind of clever scene in the movie was they're kind of like setting up this like really death-defying car chase in Rome, where like Dwayne Johnson hops into a Porsche.
Right. He's like about to peel out in hot pursuit.
He was about to, but then his car gets hit by a gelato truck.
Yeah.
So just put the kibosh on that.
This movie does have a pretty good sense of humor. I decided to look up who was behind it. It was written and directed by Rawson Marshall Thurber, who the main thing that I know about is actually he directed Dodgeball, a true underdog story, and We're the Millers, among other things.
Huh.
Although he also directed that skyscraper movie that The Rock was in 2018. So,
okay.
The death of R-rated comedy really forced a lot of people to make some adjustments.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. Oof.
Which does explain some of the good comedic timing that is on display in this movie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But anyways, so The Rock, he crashes into a gelato truck. He's about to leave Rome when it turns out that he's been set up as part of the scheme.
Yes. Yeah. And so, because they catch up with Ryan Reynolds in Bali, and but then they have this whole switcheroo thing where the egg got switched out with a fake, and that's because Gal Gadot was there to switch it out. Because Gal Gadot's character, she plays
Bishop,
the Bishop, Bishop, who's this like a lot of people think, oh, she's Bishop's a legend, not doesn't exist. But no, she was real, and so she sets up Dwayne Johnson to take the fall for it, and then he and Ryan Reynolds end up in this Russian prison, and they decide, okay, well, we got to work together, because Dwayne Johnson wants to clear his name, and then Ryan Reynolds wants to get the other eggs, and become very rich.
Right. And so it's a world hopping series of heists where they just have to again, they're trying to get the eggs while constantly bickering with each other.
Yeah, they have this sort of buddy cop dynamic going, where I couldn't really tell if like I was just waiting for Dwayne Johnson to punch Ryan Reynolds like in almost every scene, because he just kept mouthing off.
Right, and The Rock's character is not the type of guy who he doesn't seem like he would put up with nonsense.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Although,
actually, most of his characters are kind of like that.
well, it's because he usually plays the same character.
That's true. Yeah.
Like, there are a couple that are a bit more comedic in their bent, but even that's usually not so much the character themselves is funny; it's that the situation they're in is funny. Like, gosh, the last few movies I've seen with him, the furthest I've seen him push himself is probably in the Jumanji movies, where he was pretending to be a teenager suddenly in his own body.
I still need to see those movies.
First one at least is worth the effort. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting watching this one because it is a perfect time capsule of what 2021 was like. Because this was like, I think it was like a $200 million movie in large part because of the salaries of the top 3 actors.
Yeah, because a lot the visual effects in this movie, like most of I don't think they really filmed on the locations where they are. Like, it looked like it was mostly green screen and CGI, and even then, it was really cheap looking.
Yeah, I will say that there are some good action set pieces. I think the one that stuck with me a week later the most is when they're in the museum and Ryan Reynolds gets into the fight on the scaffolding.
Oh yeah. He's doing doing all the parkour stuff, which another thing that was ruined by Rick and Morty for me. Rick
and Morty ruins most things. Like my personal opinion on Rick and Morty is that in retrospect, I liked the first couple of seasons, but okay, like the show that is the closest to the style of Rick and Morty, in my opinion, is Futurama. But I feel like Futurama usually liked the things that it was parodying, where Rick and Morty just thinks it's better than the things it's parodying.
Yeah. I think Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon started getting a little too high on their own farts.
All right, and I'll just do like a quick side example here. Futurama did an episode where they had the Harlem Globetrotters in space, which was just like, that was their loving tribute to all the 70s cartoon, the Harlem Globetrotters in space.
Yeah.
And the Harlem Globetrotters were just treated like very straightforwardly, like, what if the Harlem Globetrotters were a serious scientific organization? And so they just have a lot of fun with the tropes of it, having these people who are acting like they're serious scientists doing basketball stuff all the time. If Rick and Morty did a Harlem Globetrotters in space, it would just be Rick the whole time going, "Oh yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense, Morty. Basketballers in space because they got the skills."
Oh, what geniuses! I can't believe you were able to figure that out.
Yeah.
But enough about Rick and Morty.
That keeps coming up this episode, which I think is because there isn't all that much to talk about with this. It is the humor is very Marvel-esque. Okay. From here on, there'll be spoilers because there is kind of a big one that makes some of my thoughts about the movie feeling a little bit odd. Makes sense in retrospect. So if you want to just go have some fun for like an hour and 40 minutes, there are much worse things you could put on. There's like some weird decisions, like the British arms trader. He was actually like 40 or 50 maybe at the most, but he sounded like this, and I think it was the actor's attempts to give him a serious British accent and failing miserably.
Yeah.
I'll also give a shout out to Ritu Arya as Inspector Urvashi Das for being, in my humble opinion, prettier than Gal Gadot, and also being a pretty good no-nonsense police officer character.
Yeah.
I'd watch something else with her in it.
Yeah, I would too.
Actually, I'm going to put the spoiler part of it off too. This movie also taught me why Gal Gadot had to be so heavily auto-tuned for Snow White.
Yeah.
There's a bit where they are doing some enhanced interrogation, quote unquote, and she decides to get mean with it, with some of these sensitive bits.
Yes.
And she goes, so the song she was actually singing was Downtown. We'll be there downtown. So it's supposed to be like it's supposed to be a falling note, right?
Yeah.
The way she kept saying it was downtown, basically downtown, like kind of flat.
Yeah.
Like no voice modulation. I kept thinking to myself, how is that the acceptable cut?
Yeah. We did 12 takes, and that was the best one.
Yes. Up and at them.
Up and or yeah. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're getting to actual spoilers. The Rock was in on it the whole time.
Yeah. Which, in the back of my head, I was kind of thinking that.
He did in the first act kind of admit that he was the bad guy, but it was, I think the head fake was that he's being sarcastic. Okay.
Yeah. And good to see you, Ninja. And
hey,
Ninja. I will watch it, but I don't know if I'll see it in the theater. Fantastic Four, that is. But he was the bad guy, and or he was in on it because he and Gal Gadot are a couple, and because there are two bishops on chessboard. They're both bishop, Ooh. Ninja. Not quite like in Get Smart, but
I would say that Get Smart had the better twist, actually.
Yeah.
In part because it was the better movie. If I was going to recommend kind of a forgettable action movie.
Yeah. If I had to choose between this movie or Get Smart, I'd go with Get Smart. But yeah, there's that twist, and then they okay. So the whole thing, the reason they had to get the eggs, and I completely forgot about this until it happened in the movie. They had to get the eggs to this billionaire Egyptian guy before his daughter's wedding, because it was supposed to be a wedding gift, because the eggs were going to be a wedding gift for her on her wedding day, and but then, like, of course, and then there was the odd Ed Sheeran cameo.
Ed Sheeran, yeah.
Ed Sheeran, yeah, okay. Yeah, I can't remember how to pronounce his name.
But that was also very 2021.
Yes. Although I did like the part where they were arresting him. He's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I was in Game of Thrones."
And I was like, he was in Game of Thrones? I mean, I've never seen Game of Thrones, but that was kind of startling to me. Yeah. I think of him as just being that soft-spoken musician who likes to make people sad.
Yes. But why did they turn in the billionaire couple to the
I don't know entirely, because it kind of felt arbitrary. Like, it's like they didn't want the bad guys to win, but I don't remember why our heroes decided to turn on them, because that's just bad business to like get a big paycheck from somebody for doing a gig and then turning them over to law enforcement. That's
Yeah, it didn't make any sense to me at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the movie ends with the three of with Ryan Reynolds having successfully screwed them over after they screwed him over, because Gal Gadot and The Rock were working together the whole time apparently.
Yeah.
And so they kind of left him with nothing.
Yeah, they left him high and dry, and then he kind of like made a deal with the Interpol lady, but then he's like, "No, I don't want to do that. Well, I want to work with you guys."
Right. And so the movie ends kind of promising a sequel that we haven't gotten yet. Maybe in a couple of years when all of their careers are at a lower point.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Well, it shows them. Yeah, the last shot there is them going to the Louvre.
Yep.
So, wonder what they're gonna steal the Mona Lisa.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's peak 2021 Netflix because Gal Gadot keeps beating people up, like grown men up. Now, as far as like people who could actually hold their own in a fight, I would put Gal Gadot up there just because she is, she managed to sell that. But her being on even terms with The Rock makes much more sense when you realize that he's in on it.
Yeah. Once you realize, that the two are like, oh, okay, so he was pulling his punches and faking it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I will say, Gal Gadot. I mean, she's former Israeli Defense Force. So,
right.
Yeah, so she knows how to do all that fighting stuff. But
But
you're right. Yeah.
Right. He still has 100 pounds of muscle on her, so it's
yeah.
Especially the way he juices himself.
Yeah. But
yeah, like I would say, it's totally acceptable time to be had.
Yeah.
I would definitely watch it again before I watched The Adam Project again. That one was just kind of annoying.
Yeah, I still haven't seen that one yet.
I don't recommend it. Okay. And also, Ninja, I have sent Daniel my response to your recommendation.
Yes. Let me. Let's see. How do I? Okay. Here. Share screen. Here we go.
I don't care who recommends it. I'm still not seeing Fantastic Four in theaters. Is that the nicest way to put it? No, but I also am portraying myself as a jerk in this meme, so there you go.
Yeah.
Mostly it's just because I just haven't seen anything from it that interested me all that much, and also just kind of I don't know, like I was willing to see Superman twice because I knew it would be interesting. Fantastic Four, just like I'm tired of the MCU, even if it was even good stuff. So it's just I'll catch it on Disney Plus whenever.
Yeah, same here. And I will also add Pedro Pascal. I'm so sick of that guy.
Yeah, I do keep hearing that he is better than he has any right to, or that I'm going to say that less negatively. He is better than he was anticipated to be. In fact, better than it was anticipated to be is how I'm hearing a lot of people talk about Fantastic Four. So, yeah. I'm glad people are having fun with it.
Yeah, me too.
Also, it is very noteworthy that the Red Notice review ended up turning into discussions of Rick and Morty, Fantastic Four,
Snyderverse.
Like, it's not the most interesting movie in the world.
No, it isn't.
It is that Awesemo 2000 or whatever it was movie pitch realized.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Honestly, the reason we probably haven't seen a Red Notice 2 yet is because Netflix ran the numbers and decided they don't want to spend another $200 million on. And maybe I'm only just assuming it was $200 million. Let's find out.
Well, I will say, they probably needed one.
Yep, $200 million.
Oh,
that all went to the actors and maybe some accountants, lawyers.
Yeah. It didn't get on the screen, that's for sure.
No.
Yes.